Okay, good morning everyone. I am Mrs. Kanchan Bharaj and I will be taking your English language classes for class 3. So today we are going to start with the first unit, that is the sentence. Okay, now first we will see the definition. A sentence is a group of words which makes complete sense. Okay children, so whenever we say that talk about sentence, now sentence is not a single word. Okay, now when we are saying the sentence, it means that there is a group of words, okay, which come together and it forms a sentence. For example, we will just see, if I say, now see children, an apple is a fruit. So it is a group of words, okay, these are different words like apple, is, fruit, these are all words. When they come together, they form a sentence. Now the next thing, it should make complete sense. That is also very important. For example, if I say a fruit, an apple is. Now children, is it making any sense? No, it does not make any sense. But if we say an apple is a fruit, then yes, it makes sense. Similarly, we will see the next example. If I say fly, birds, can, fast, very. Now this is not a sentence, okay? This is a group of words, but it cannot be called a sentence because it is not making any sense. Now if we arrange it properly, it will be like birds can fly very fast. Now when we read this, it is making some sense. So it makes complete sense. Birds can fly very fast. It makes sense. So we can call this as a sentence. Okay? Or any group of word cannot be called sentence. Okay? There are two important things, group of words and makes complete sense. These are two important things. Okay? This is a group of word, but still because it is making no sense, we cannot call this as a sentence. Okay, we can call this as a sentence, an apple is a fruit, because it makes sense. Okay, so this is what the meaning of a sentence. Okay, so the two things which are very important, that a sentence is a group of words, secondly which makes complete sense. Okay, so if the second thing, one more thing which is very important children, here these are two important points that you should always keep in mind whenever you write any sentence. Okay, now whenever we are writing sentences, you always have to keep in mind that each sentence begins with a capital letter. Okay, all the sentences will always begin with a capital letter. Now you can see here, I have written two examples over here. The boy runs fast. Now this is a sentence, the boy runs fast. This is a sentence, but it is not starting with a capital letter. Okay, so the right way of writing a sentence is this, where it should start with a capital letter. The second important point is, each sentence ends with a full stop. So whenever we are writing a sentence, the second thing which we have to keep in mind is that we have to put a full stop whenever a sentence ends. Okay, don't forget to put the full stop. Now here, the boy runs fast. I have not put any full stop and I have also not started with a capital letter. So this is a sentence, but this is not a right way of writing a sentence. The right way is this, where we are starting with a capital letter, and when a sentence is completed, it ends, here we have to put a full stop. Similarly over here, whenever we are starting a sentence like I have a new toy, here also it is not starting with a capital letter and there is no full stop at the end. So this way of writing a sentence is wrong. Okay, the right way, the correct way is this: I capital, then have a new toy and ending with a full stop. So whenever like we are starting, again I am telling you once again that sentence is a group of words which makes complete sense. Okay, so if the words are there but they are not arranged properly, you cannot call it as a sentence. Okay, so it has to be arranged properly. It should always start with a capital letter. It should always end with a full stop. Okay. Okay children, now we will start with our unit 2, subject and predicate. Now in unit 1, we have already seen what is a sentence. Okay, a sentence is a group of words which makes complete sense. Now in subject and predicate, we will learn now this all sentences can be divided into two parts. Now children, sentences are always divided into two parts. Now what are these two parts? First is subject and another part is predicate. Okay, so a sentence can be divided into two parts, subject and predicate. Now what is a subject? Subject, the person or thing spoken about, that is subject. Now what is a predicate? Predicate is what is said about the subject. Okay, now we will understand this with example. For example, Raman is a good boy. Now in this sentence we are talking about Raman. So Raman will be subject. Okay, because subject is person or thing spoken about. Okay, here in this sentence we are talking about Raman. So Raman will be subject. Okay, now we come to predicate. Then another part of the sentence is a good boy. Raman is a good boy. Raman was subject. Now predicate is what is said about the subject. Now this is subject. What are we saying about Raman? We are saying that he is a good boy. So this part of the sentence where we are writing is a good boy, this is predicate. Okay, so subject is Raman, predicate is a good boy, because we are talking about Raman, that is the subject. Okay, this is the person about whom we are talking. Now is a good boy is the predicate, because this is what we are speaking about the subject. Okay, we are speaking about the subject that he is a good boy. So this part will be predicate and this part is the subject. We will see few more examples. Like I have divided the sentences, that I have taken 3 examples, 3 sentences, and I have divided them into subject and predicate. Now first one, the cow is eating grass. What is the subject? The cow. Why? Because we are talking about the cow. Now what is the predicate? Is eating grass. Why it is the predicate? Because that is what we are talking about, the subject. Okay, if this is the subject, the cow, what are we speaking about the cow? That it is eating grass. So that part of the sentence will be predicate. We'll come to the next example. A knife has a blade and a handle. In this sentence, what is the subject? A knife. Why? Because we are talking about a knife. This is the thing about which we are speaking. Has a handle, has a blade and a handle. This part is predicate because this is what we are speaking about, the knife. Third example, the teacher teaches in the class. Now, the teacher is the subject of the sentence because we are talking about the teacher. Now, what are we saying about the teacher? Teaches in the class. So, this part will be the subject of the sentence. So, let us see again, what is the subject? Person or thing spoken about. What is the predicate? Now, what is said about the subject? What we are saying about the subject? That part of the sentence will be called predicate. Now, you have few exercises in the book where you have to add subject or predicate accordingly. So, I have taken one example of each. For example, if the predicate part is given to you and you have to add the subject to it. For example, has a new book. If this part of the subject of the sentence is given to you, has a new book, and you have to add any subject to it. So, when you are adding any subject to a given predicate, you always have to read the predicate nicely, and whatever subject you are going to put should be suitable. For example, I have taken Priya or Ravi. I can say Priya has a new book. I can also say Ravi has a new book. You can also take any pronoun. She has a new book, he has a new book. So, she and he will also be the subject here. Now, if the subject is given like my mother, this subject is already given to you. You have to add any suitable predicate to it. So, you read the subject which is given, see what is given, and then accordingly whichever predicate is suitable, you have to put that. I have taken my mother cooks tasty food. It suits the subject. Okay. So, whenever any subject is given and you have to add a predicate, or a predicate is given and you have to add any subject to it, you please read it carefully, and whatever you are adding, it should be suitable, and when you are writing it and when you are reading it again, it should make a proper sense. Then only it will be called a complete sentence. Okay? Children, today we will start with Unit 3, the noun and kinds of nouns. We have done with Unit 1 sentence and Unit 2 subject and predicate. Now we start with Unit 3, the noun and kinds of nouns. Children, when we look around ourselves, we see many things. Okay? There are tube lights, fans, there are people around us, we see many animals once we come out of the house, and when we are there in our house, we see so many objects around us. Now all these things, they have some name. For example, this is a thing on which we write. It has been given a name, that is, we say it as a board. Okay, then we use a chalk to write. The name has been given as chalk. Okay, then something on which we sit is a chair. Okay, something which we eat is food. So there are so many things around us, and all the things, they have some name. So any kind of naming word is called noun. Okay, simply nouns are naming words. Words which are used as names of persons, animals, places or things are called nouns. So nouns are what? They are names which are given to different persons, animals, things and places. For example, the teacher teaches the students. Now teacher is a person who teaches us. Okay, we call a teacher. Then students, you all are studying, you all are students. So teacher, students, then Priya is a good girl. So here Priya, girl, these are nouns. Why? Because these are naming words. Okay, so anything that has a name, that name is a noun. Okay, we have duster, we have chalks, we have table, tube lights, fans, all the objects, they have some name. Then if you see places, okay, like we live in, if I say I live in a city. Okay, now which city? I live in Jabalpur. So this is also a noun because a name has been given to a city. Okay, so like we have things, I have told you, then places, then we have animals, dog, cat, tiger, lion. These are all nouns because these are names of animals. So the naming words are nouns. Now nouns are further, they are of different kinds. Okay, the first kind of noun is common noun. Okay, these we are going to study three kinds of nouns, that is common noun, proper noun and collective noun. So first we will start with common noun. Now, a name which does not point out any particular person, place or thing is called a common noun. For example, a girl plays outside. Now when I say a girl, now girl is a noun. Now why it is common noun? Because the word girl can be commonly used for any girl. Okay, when I say girl, that time I am not pointing out at a particular girl. So the word girl can be used for any girl. That is why this is a common noun. If I say for example here in this sentence also, the teacher. Now here we are not giving a proper name of any teacher. So this is a common noun because the word teacher here is not pointing out any person in particular. Okay, so all the names here, like all the names which does not point out any particular person, place or thing, they are called common nouns. They can be commonly used for any, like the word city can be used for Jabalpur is also a city, Pune is also a city, Mumbai is also a city. So the word city can be used for any city. But when I talk about Jabalpur, then it is particular. So here we come to the proper noun. Now proper noun is a name which belongs to a particular person, place or thing. Just now I gave one example. I live in a city. Now when I say city, I am not pointing out, okay, at any particular city. So the word city will be a common noun. But when I say I live in Jabalpur, so Jabalpur is here, it is a proper noun because I am pointing out at one particular city. So I have two more examples here. India is a big country. Now when we say country, that will be a common noun because country can be any country. It can be India, China, anything. So when I say India, then I am pointing out at a particular country. So India is a proper noun. Now if I say Reena plays outside. So Reena here is proper noun because the word Reena has been used for a particular girl. And similarly here we had a girl plays outside. So here girl was common noun because girl can be any girl and the word girl can be used for any girl in common. But when the same sentence I use with a particular name, a special name given to a person, here I am using the word Reena. So this Reena is a proper noun because here it belongs to a particular person or a place or a thing. So these are proper nouns. They are used for a particular person, like your names. Your name is a proper noun, okay, because it is given to you in particular. And one more thing here which you should notice is proper nouns, we write them, we start them with a capital letter. Whenever you are writing a proper noun like your name also, you always start it with a capital letter. Okay, so here R and I, these are capital letters. Now the third kind of noun is collective noun. A name given to a collection of persons or things taken as one. First we will see some examples, then we will understand. For example, a crowd of people. There are so many people. When they are together, we give a name to it, to the crowd. That word is crowd. Okay, if there are a collection of people are there, a group of people are there, we call it a crowd. So the word crowd is a collective noun because it is used, it is a name that is given to a collection of person. Crowd is a name given to collection of people. Similarly, we have an army of soldiers. Here army is collective noun because the word army, what it is a name that is given to a group of soldiers, collection of soldiers. So the one word we can use for it is army. When we say army, we take it as one. When we say crowd, we take it as one. Okay. Third is a class of students. Now there are so many students in a class, but if we have to give one name to it, the group of students or the collection of students are there, the one name which can be given to it is class. So class is a collective noun. Why? Because class is that one name which is given to the group of students or the collection of students. So we have, once again, what is a noun? It is a name given to any person, place, animal or thing. That is noun. It is a naming word. Naming word. Then we have three kinds of nouns: common noun, proper noun, collective noun. Whatever common nouns are there, it can be used commonly for all. Like girl, boy, mother, father. We are not talking about anyone in particular. When we talk about proper noun, it is a name which is given to a person in particular. It is a special name given to a person, place or thing. So like India and Reena, these are proper nouns. Then we have collective noun. Collective noun is a name which is given to a collection of persons or things. Like we have crowd of people, army of soldiers, class of students. So here crowd, army, class, they are names given to the collection of people. And here when we talk about the collective noun like crowd, army, class, we take it as one. Children, now we will start with our unit 4, the verb. Now let us understand what is the verb. Now children, when you see around you or even you, we all every time, every day we are doing some actions, okay? Like right now maybe you are watching the video, okay? You are studying or maybe you are sitting. So whatever actions are there, okay? So all action words are verbs. Let us see the definition. Words which show something being done or an action are called verbs. So whatever words, all the words which show that some action is being done or something is happening, they are called verbs. Okay, so words which show something being done or an action are called verbs. So all action words or the doing words are verbs. Now example, the boy runs fast. Now in this sentence, runs is the verb because that is the action which the boy is doing. So if we ask what is the boy doing? He is running, he runs. Okay, and if we say that what is the action being performed by the boy? That is the answer, runs. So the word runs, it shows some action being done and that is the verb. Second, birds fly in the sky. Now here the word fly is the verb because it shows what the birds are doing or what action is taking place. So here fly is the verb. Third, the dog barks at the cow. So here barks is the verb because it shows what the dog is doing, what action is being done. Okay, so whatever words show some action being done or something is happening, so these words are called verbs. We also say that the verbs, they show or they say something about the noun. Like here the boy. Now the runs will tell that what is the boy doing. Okay, it says something about the boy. Here the word fly says something about the bird. So like this we can say the verbs are those words which shows some action. Action words are verbs. Now one more thing, like in these three examples we had runs, fly and barks. These were verbs. Now one more thing is there, sometimes a verb can be of more than one word. For example, the boys are running fast, birds are flying in the sky. Now see this example, the verb was runs. Okay, run. So running means some action is performed, that is verb. Now in this sentence I have written are running. Okay, so here the verb will be of two words, are and running. Similarly, when we say birds are flying in the sky, so here verb will be of two words, that is are and flying. So are flying is the verb. Okay, so sometimes we say that suppose the girls are dancing, or you can say that the boys are running. So these words like are running, is swimming, these are also verbs, but here they are of two words, and here the verbs are of a single word, that is runs, fly and barks. So if you are given some sentences to underline the verbs, okay, you have to see it very carefully. If there are some words like is, are, was and were, okay, if there are some words like these are called helping verbs. So you also have to underline that. Okay, here if you only underline running, so that will be wrong or it will be incomplete. Here you have to underline the complete verb. Okay, that is are running and here it is are flying. So it is said that the words is, are, was and were, these are also verbs. These are called helping verbs. Okay, these are the main verbs, and is, are, was, were, they are helping verbs. Now, there is one exercise in the book, exercise 2, where you have to choose the right word. Okay, here like I have taken 3 sentences from the exercise. The bell. Now in the bracket they have given 3 different verbs. All these 3 are verbs, but you have to underline the correct verb. Okay, now the bell, now you have 3 verbs. If you say the bell talks, then it will be wrong. If you say the bell dances, again this is wrong. Okay, so what is the right word for the sentence? The bell rings. So you have to underline the word rings. This is the correct verb which will go with this, the bell. Now we have the second one, birds, and you have 3 options and you have nest. So birds break nest will be wrong. Birds paint nest, again that is wrong. So the correct verb for this is build. Birds build nests. Then we have the third, aeroplanes run very fast will be wrong. Aeroplanes walk very fast, again this is wrong. What is the correct verb? It is aeroplanes fly very fast. So this is the correct verb which will go with this sentence. So I have taken these 3 sentences from the exercise. You have many more sentences. So in these kind of exercises, you have to see that which all 3 words given will be verbs, but you have to see that which verb is correct and it will go with the sentence given. So we have once again we will just revise what are verbs. Verbs are action words. Okay, like so many actions we perform in a day. We eat, we drink, we sleep, we sit, we watch something. So these all like watching, running, eating, drinking, all these actions are called verbs. Okay, now we have this over here 2 examples, and here I have told you that verbs, it's not necessary that verbs are only one word, like here and in these sentences also, these are one words. single word, okay? But if the words like is, are, was, were, if these are there over here, you also have to take it, okay? If you are underlining the verbs, you also have to underline are over here, okay? Because the verbs sometimes they consist of more than one word. For example, are running or are flying. So what are verbs? Verbs are action words. So children, we have done 4 units today. Okay, unit 1 was the sentence, second subject and predicate, then we had nouns and verbs. So please revise the 4 units. Thank you for the day.